surprise additional episode. So I was originally going to be doing the final episode tomorrow, really. That would have been around our councillors who voted in favour of consultation. But today we have a statement from the council. So it would be remiss of me really to not address this statement. Gisborne Council to include iwi input in installing Endeavour replicas. Gisborne Mayor Riet Stoltz has admitted she regrets voting in favour of installing 2 new replicas of Captain Cook's ship Endeavour in the city without consulting local iwi, and will now allow them to have their say. See, that right there, that's not a treaty relationship. Treaty relationship isn't where one group allows another to speak or to have their say. Treaty relationship is where they negotiate together what an outcome is, and they share power. And that's where we're at, that we had to go through all of this just to have a say, let alone getting to a true treaty partnership space of sharing power. It is what it is, huh? The District Council has been under fire since it decided to permanently install the small-scale models on Gisborne's Gladstone Road without any public consultation at a committee meeting last week. Yeah, well, we've been under fire for 250 years, so... local iwi rongo whakaata and Ngāti Oneone were blindsided by the move. Many of their descendants fiercely opposed the 250-year commemoration of Cook's arrival last year, which saw another replica of Endeavour voyage around the country. Stoltz has now admitted she made the wrong decision. Ka pai. That is a big step to acknowledge that you have made the wrong decision. I do regret that I initially thought, yes, we should consult. And then when I listened to the sentiment, in the end, I voted to the contrary, she said. She's got me worried there. You never know which way she's going to go. I do think as a council we can do better and we should consult with the community. Yes, you should. I mean, there should have been consultation in 1969, but there wasn't. There should have been consultation in 2018, and you were on council then too, and there wasn't. And so now we're at this point. Yes, we should definitely have consultation. Stoltz said she voted against public consultation after hearing the sentiment from councillors around the table who talked about the commitment the council made in 2018 to replace the old replicas. That was a commitment that was made also without any consultation. But since speaking with iwi yesterday, she has changed her mind. I've spoken to councillors and called a meeting with councillors on Thursday so that we can discuss how we can get our community involved in this, because I do recognise that this is a significant matter for our community and that the decision was made without offering the community the chance to express their views more fully. Ngāti Oneone spokesperson Nick Tupara said the council already knew how divided the community was about monuments marking Cook's arrival, and consulting with them should have been obvious. However, big surprise, Councillor Andy Cranston has defended his decision to not consult with iwi, saying he believed they would not have wanted to take part in the discussion about the new replicas. And here comes my material. We have dealt with these issues in the past for quite a while. Not with us, you haven't. And one of the matters that came up last year during our commemorations was that iwi didn't want anything to do with the Endeavour. They felt that it was something they didn't want a bar of. So maybe we also don't want it in our face every day when we drive through town. I'm going to call this my Nadine headshake. And that was their right. Yes, it was our right to have a say about it. And it's still our right to have a say about it. And I absolutely support that. If that's the way they want to go, I can understand that. I'm not getting the understand vibe from you, Andy. I doubt I'm going to nickname you Understandy Andy. And when they were saying that they didn't want anything to do with the endeavour, I immediately have to go back and say, well, we've got a community here that is pretty much 50-50 split on these Cook monuments and whether they should be there or not. When are you doing all this research? How are you coming up with these numbers? Like between you and the 50-50 split and Council Worsnop and the 90% of the Gisborne population? Are you pulling them out of your colon, Neil? Research that you're doing. I don't know where else you could possibly be pulling them out from. My opinion was if we went to the iwi and said to them, where do you want us to put these endeavour models? They would not have had an answer to that because they would not want to then be held in a position where it is seen as them endorsing a location for the endeavours and supporting the installation. Really gets it. He gets it. He gets it. And he gets it. Maybe I can call you Understandy now. Iwi may not want to endorse the installation of it. And so that would be a great time for them to say that in the consultation. But also, let's have a think about the fact that they were never asked about whether or not they wanted them installed in the first place. And let's be clear, when you guys made the vote, you specifically voted on a location that had nothing to do with it being appropriate or the best place or the right place. You only voted for it to be installed there in that location because that would be the easiest way for you to get away with not talking to the iwi. That was the logic that you expressed behind your votes, was let's just put it in the place where we don't have to consult iwi about. But guess what? You have to anyway. But contrary to Cranston's belief, Tupara said iwi did want to contribute to the discussion, and he thought it could be an opportunity to explore how history could be remembered in new ways. I'm seeing it as a new artwork, and I'm excited about any artistic expression. I think we should create po, but our po need to speak of our people and be by our people, and I think here is an opportunity to do just that. The council made it clear that the community must fund the installation costs of the new models themselves. When you say community, you just mean the group of people who are in favour of this, eh? I've just been on the Give a Little page that they used for fundraising. There were 34 donors in 12 weeks. It's not a huge group. So much for the community spoke, eh?